Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I go to war, I'll fight. Damn right. Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything.
I was talking to a few stepdads, and if I seem rushed, it's only because I want to make sure that this is fresh in my head, because I want to explain this to you, and I want to give like a assurance to you, stepdad, that things are going to go to shit. Not everything is going to work. You will have way more failures than you will have successes, and the chances of you walking away are very, very high. But with that being said, if your intentions are good, if you have commitment to consistency, to becoming a better you, to becoming a better partner, and to becoming a better mentor and father and teacher within your home, then you're on the right track. If anything I said before that feels like it kind of made you feel a certain way or gets to you, then you need to take a step back and reanalyze your situation and why you're there. But as a stepdad, our plans that we have rarely turn out exactly the way we picture them. Rarely. We have this idea, we have this vision in our mind of how we think we are going to be as or as fathers, how we think we are going to be as new husbands, or maybe it's your second or third marriage, but within the new family. We have these ideas how we think things are going to go, and very rarely do our plans and our reality meet in the middle and combine to come out to a conclusion of, oh, it worked. Very rarely does that happen. And I'm saying this to you because there are going to be so many times that you fail, stepdads. There are going to be so many times where you think, man, I'm killing it. I'm doing my best. I'm putting in the work. I'm reading the books. I'm working on myself. And one of your children say something like, you're not my real dad. Don't talk to me like that. Or I hate you. Or when are you leaving? Or maybe you're going all in on the kids, and you're killing it with the kids, and they're really like beginning to accept you and invite you into their world, but then your relationship has fallen apart because you have chosen to let that fall by the wayside. So the way we envision things going and the way they actually go are very rarely do they meet up. And I want to reassure you that that's okay. It's a part of the process. I used to be a really big advocate about having a positive mental mindset. That's how I am. Positive mental mindset. Don't expect the bad things. Try to keep a good head on your shoulders, anticipate some really just amazing stuff happening in your life, et cetera, et cetera. But the more I think about it, and the more I'm honest with myself, the more I know that saying it that way and in that manner, it just isn't true. You have to plan to fail in order to move forward. You have to anticipate the bad things happening sometimes. And what I mean by that is maybe you have an idea, maybe you have a goal, maybe you have this vision of how you want, like, let's say the first 2 years to go. So you have these plans and you have these things that you and your spouse talk about, how you want to initiate it with the children. And if you're always thinking positive, like it's going to work, it's going to be awesome, they're going to be amazing, they're going to accept me, they're going to love me, everything's going to work out great, then when it does fail, because you weren't anticipating some of the things that could happen, you're going to be blindsided, and you're going to find yourself, digging yourself out of a hole. So I'm saying that with like a asterisk next to it, meaning, but if you're doing the self work, meaning if you're working on you, and you're strong with who you are, not only as a man, but as a mentor, a leader, a father, a husband, a lover, a friend. If you are working on yourself, if you are identifying your faults, if you are working on your weaknesses, then anticipating things going bad is actually not a bad thing. Does that make sense? Anticipating things going bad is not something that's going to immediately make it go bad because you're anticipating it, therefore you're thinking it, therefore the energy is coming to you, and et cetera, et cetera. What I mean by that is like you have an idea, a goal, and you set out to do it, and you put in the work. But if you've done what some Fortune 500 companies do with their businesses, if you're treating your family sometimes like a business, then you know that you are looking at the idea, you think of the overall plan of action and where you think this could go, where you want it to go, but then you anticipate what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if they say no? What if they don't like it? What if they don't accept it? What if bio dad or bio mom kicks back at it? Like, there are a lot of what ifs that can happen. And if you're not anticipating those what ifs, not only for yourself, but for your family, then you are going to be blindsided. But if you are anticipating them in a positive manner, yeah, this is the fun stuff. If you're anticipating the bad stuff, but in a positive manner, then you know, because you know they're going to come, right? Then you know that when they do come, you'll be mentally prepared to move forward. And that's the key. That's the difference between those who win and those who lose, those who stay and those who go, those who are stepdads for 20 years and those who are stepdads for 20 minutes. That's the difference. That you're okay as a man, as a person, in your heart and your mental status, in your relationship and how you are as a leader, you're okay to anticipate the bad things because you know the anticipation is just like you're planning. Like, if that happens, I'm gonna be okay because I've worked on myself here, so then I'll move to here. And you're able to pivot quicker. See, where most people don't anticipate things, let me rephrase this. Where most people anticipate the really worst and the bad things that could possibly happen, they anticipate it, and they don't work on themselves. And because they don't work on themselves, they're not working on their mental status. So when the bad thing happens, you can wave bye-bye to them because they won't mentally be able to pivot. They will cower down, back away, start over, or maybe not even start at all. So that's the importance of anticipating the bad things, but in a good way, right? Planning to fail is okay. Planning to fail is something that you have to do as a stepdad. Plan to fail. Make your peace with it. The kids are not going to immediately accept you. Some of them don't even want you there. That's the truth. That's the hard facts. It's going to take time, energy, effort, patience, persistence, consistency to even feel like you're valued. But let me just kind of throw this at you, stepdads, and I want you to take it. I want you to put it in your pocket. And every time you decide to get down on yourself or you decide to get pissed off about a scenario, I want you to remember one thing. Even though they are not saying it, they absolutely value you there. They absolutely are feeling safe if you're putting in the work and you're becoming the best man you can be. They feel safe that you're there. They may not tell you. You may not hear it for years, but you are valued. You are needed. You are wanted. And even if it's not out loud. So stop making this about, well, why doesn't everybody tell me how much they love me, or tell me how much they respect what I'm doing, or why doesn't anybody see all the hard work I'm putting? Because nobody gives a shit. Seriously, they don't. The only person that should care through this entire process is you. That's it. Are you putting in the work for you? Are you becoming a better man for you? Are you becoming a better husband for you? Are you becoming a better father for you? You're trying to change your inherited DNA. You're trying to change the way you were. Because only when that changes, when those changes combine with the new routines, habits, and ideas that you're implementing within your family, then the inherited DNA changes. So then their kids will be different. All because you decided to stop whining, stop bitching, stop moaning. You decided to do the work. You decided to stop giving me to put on the freaking, what do you call those? My son does this sometimes to his sister. Says the smallest violin playing the pity party. Yeah, stop inviting people to your party because nobody wants to go. Nobody cares. But equally, everybody cares. But the person that has to care the most is you. So you have to be okay with family. You just have to. You have to make your peace with it. I wrote this down too. What we think we deserve is rarely what we get. Yet, for some reason, we deny this fact even when it comes to step parenting and are repeatedly shocked by how the events unfold. When we deny that failure can happen because we're not anticipating it in a positive manner, we get shocked at how everything unfolds. And then we fold. because we weren't doing the work. Stepdads, I'd like to tell you that this is a easy journey. This whole process is simple. I like to tell you that, reading this one book will solve all your problems. It won't. I'd like to tell you by doing the 8 things I put on this piece of paper will solve your problems. They won't. There is no quick fix. I've done an episode on this. There are no red and blue pills that you can take that can take you one way or the other. The only thing that's going to get you to your destination is the work. And the only way to do the work correctly is to positively identify and anticipate failing so that you can pivot the correct way and move forward gradually towards your goal. That's the absolute best way I can put it. If you can do this, stepdads, you will win. If you can do this, stepdads, you will find your place. You will find that comfort that you are so desperately seeking. You will find that admiration and love, but more importantly, you will find that value that you want. But if you really want that value, I want you to think of it as one of the hardest things you'll ever have to work for in your life. But when you get it, it's that much sweeter. So be okay. Positively anticipate the failures so that you may pivot. Okay, stepdads? Hell, and stepmoms. And I know there's a lot of stepmoms that have been watching my show lately, which I'm so grateful for. And I love what one of them sent me a message saying, all you got to do is replace the word stepdad with stepmom, and boom, this information is equal. I agree. And it takes work. Find an accountability partner. That should be your spouse, but find an accountability partner, somebody that can hold you accountable for your actions. More importantly, set bigger goals for yourself, stepdads. Set bigger goals for yourself when it comes to, like benchmarks and in a way to like measure measure how well you are doing over the years, right? You have to have some sort of like something to shoot for. You have to have something to aim for. You just have to. And I don't know what that is in your scenario. For me, it was like, my scenario was I got to become a better me. My scenario was I got to be better with my wife, because up until that point, I had no idea how to treat women. I didn't really trust or love relationships in any way. I wasn't a faithful anything. And I had to learn to like understand that wasn't me. That wasn't the me I wanted to be. And I had to get to a certain place. And only then did I start focusing on the kids, but then learning their tiny little idiosyncrasies and how they do certain things so then I can properly communicate with them so that I can start to develop the relationship, that seed of a relationship that I knew I was going to have to water. That some of the seeds were going to grow quick and fast and the love was just going to come pouring out, and some of them were going to take time. But only because I worked on myself was I able to be patient with the process. Okay, so it's really, really big. So today's episode is focused specifically on that. Anticipate, prepare. Anticipate, prepare yourself for the failures. Pivot. It's really, really important that you do this, stepdads. Okay, so that's it. Episode 70. Again, if you have not if you have not, please like, subscribe, share. For everybody that has already, I am so incredibly grateful and humbled that you even listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. But when I made the decision to do this, I didn't decide to talk about it until after everything that I tried worked. Getting rid of the stuff that didn't work and only implementing the things that were working. And then only after that was I like, okay, I can really share this with people now. I needed to test it first. And it works every time. 100% of the time. Does it mean you are going to have this healthy, happy family? No, I can't guarantee that. Nobody can guarantee that. But the things that I tell you to do work. Whether that means that you're going to become a better man, whether that means you're going to become a better husband, whether that means you're going to become a better person in general, I don't know. It's up to you. All right. Till next show. See you guys later. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.